There comes a moment in everyone's life when something inside whispers enough. Enough of being stuck. Enough of repeating the same cycles. Enough of feeling invisible inside your own story. That whisper is the beginning of change. It's the moment your old self begins to fade and your new self starts to awaken. Becoming unrecognizable isn't about changing your face or your name. It's about transforming your energy, your mindset, and your habits so deeply that even the mirror starts to see you differently. Now, in 21 days, you can't rewrite your whole life, but you can begin the process that does. You can plant the seed that grows into the person you have always wanted to become. The first day is always the hardest, and it's not your body that resists, it's your mind. It's that voice that says you've tried before and failed. It's the quiet fear of stepping into something unknown. But if you can get past that first voice, you have already won the hardest battle. On day one, your only task is awareness. Notice how you move, how you think, how you talk to yourself. Notice how often you shrink your potential just to stay comfortable. You can't change what you won't confront. So you begin by seeing yourself clearly. Most people never do this. They rush through their days on autopilot, repeating thoughts that don't serve them, living out patterns they never chose for themselves. But awareness breaks that cycle. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. The moment you see what's there, you stop stumbling. The second day is about acceptance. This isn't the kind of acceptance that says, "This is who I am, I'll never change." It's the kind that says, "This is where I am, and I'm ready to move forward." You can't rebuild yourself from a place of shame. Transformation starts when you look at yourself with honesty and compassion at the same time. Forgive yourself for the versions of you that didn't know better. Forgive yourself for the choices that came from fear instead of clarity. Those versions of you were doing their best with the awareness they had. And now you're doing better because you're finally awake. Day 3. This is where resistance appears. Your mind begins to argue with you. It says, "Why change now? You've survived this long." But surviving is not living. The life you truly want is not found in comfort. It's found in growth. And growth feels uncomfortable because you're expanding beyond who you used to be. In these first 3 days, you will feel moments of doubt. Your old habits will whisper to you, trying to pull you back to old patterns. But remind yourself gently. This discomfort is proof that you're moving. It is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that something inside is shifting. Imagine your future self watching you right now. They're stronger, clearer, more confident. And they're whispering, "Keep going. I'm waiting for you." That's who you're walking toward. Not someone new, but the real you. The one hidden under years of fear and hesitation. Transformation doesn't begin when the world believes in you. It begins when you decide to believe in the person you're becoming. You don't need permission to grow. You just need consistency. One small promise to yourself, kept every single day. So for the next few days, make a simple commitment to show up, to do the things that your future self would be proud of. Wake up early. Breathe before you react. Eat with intention. Move your body. Speak kindly to yourself. Each of these small acts sends a message to your brain. I am changing. And your brain listens. It starts rewiring itself to match the actions you repeat. This is how transformation works. It's not through magic, but through repetition. Each new thought, each new habit lays a new path in your mind. And the more you walk that path, the stronger it becomes. By the end of day 3, something subtle happens. You start feeling moments of peace, small ones at first. The noise in your head quiets down just enough for you to breathe. You start noticing that your energy feels lighter, that your focus sharpens, and that your decisions begin to align with the person you want to be. This is only the beginning, but beginnings carry immense power. Every great transformation in history started with a moment just like this one, a simple decision to stop running from the old and start walking toward the new. So take a deep breath. You've already begun the journey. For the first time in a long time, you are not just existing, you are evolving. The next few days will test your consistency. Your environment might not support your change. People around you might not notice the difference yet, and that's okay, because this kind of transformation is often invisible at first. It happens quietly, in your thoughts, in your routines, in your choices. And soon, that quiet work will become undeniable. You will begin to move differently. You will speak with more certainty. You will make decisions that align with your deepest values. That's when you'll realize you're already becoming unrecognizable. Change feels beautiful when you imagine it, but living through it is something else entirely. The fourth day comes quietly, carrying the first real test of your commitment. By now, your brain starts missing your old patterns. The comfort of familiar thoughts, the ease of your old distractions, they pull at you, softly but persistently. You might wake up tired, your motivation fading beneath the weight of repetition. And you need to know, this feeling is normal. You are not failing. You're simply experiencing the tug-of-war between who you were and who you are becoming. Every transformation has this moment, the moment when your mind wants to go back, when your habits start whispering, maybe tomorrow. But tomorrow never brings change. Only today does. So if all you do today is resist the urge to quit, you've already won. Old patterns are clever. They disguise themselves as comfort. But comfort is not always your friend. Comfort keeps you still. Growth asks you to move, and movement hurts at first, like stretching muscles that have been asleep for years. If you feel tired, let yourself rest, but do not confuse rest with retreat. Rest means you pause to breathe. Retreat means you step away from who you could be. There is a difference. Learn to see it. By the fifth day, something deeper starts to unfold. You begin noticing how much of your old identity was built from survival. Habits designed to protect you from pain, defense mechanisms disguised as personality. You see the places where you settled not because you wanted less, but because you stopped believing more was possible. This realization isn't meant to hurt you. It's meant to free you, because once you see your patterns, you can change them. You can rewire your reactions, choose differently, and step out of the invisible prisons you built long ago. The human mind is loyal, even to pain. It clings to what it knows. But the moment you begin observing those patterns instead of obeying them, you take your power back. On the sixth day, you'll notice something subtle. You start catching yourself mid-thought. Before you spiral into worry, before you speak from insecurity, you pause. That pause is power. It is the space where transformation breathes. Every pause weakens an old pattern. Every new choice strengthens a new one. This is how the rewiring happens. Slowly, quietly, consistently. You don't need to fix everything at once. You just need to interrupt the cycle long enough for awareness to enter. Your mind is learning a new language now. The language of presence, of focus, of self-respect. It's learning that peace isn't found in control, but in letting go of what no longer aligns. By the seventh day, something changes in your energy. You feel more grounded, more alert. Your thoughts move slower, more intentionally. You begin to respond instead of react. And somewhere in that calm, you start to meet the version of yourself you've been chasing. This is what becoming unrecognizable truly means. It isn't about outer glow-ups or dramatic announcements. It is about inner composure, about walking through chaos and still choosing peace, about being the calm in your own storm. You'll notice that not everyone will understand your change. Some people preferred the older version of you, the one who tolerated their noise, who played small to keep others comfortable. But you are not obligated to remain the same just so others don't have to adjust. When you begin to evolve, you trigger others' insecurities. This is not your burden to carry. You do not have to explain your transformation to anyone. Growth is silent, but its results speak loudly. Over these days, you are breaking invisible walls. Walls built by self-doubt, by fear, by the illusion that you must earn your worth. You are realizing that worth isn't something you chase, it's something you remember. So walk softly, but walk with conviction. Every small promise you keep to yourself becomes a stone in the foundation of your new identity. When you choose focus over distraction, discipline over impulse, truth over comfort, you are building the kind of strength that can't be faked. By the end of the first week, you may still look the same in the mirror, but inside, everything is different. You've begun to see the mechanics of your old self, how it reacts, how it avoids, how it doubts. And once seen, it can no longer rule you. You are learning to lead yourself, not with force, but with awareness, not with punishment, but with patience. And in that calm, quiet space, you are becoming unrecognizable, not because you've added something new, but because you've shed what was never truly you.
By the 8th day, you begin to feel a shift, small but undeniable. The fog in your mind starts to thin. The weight of your old habits feels lighter. And for the first time, you realize that transformation isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. The first week was about awareness, seeing the old patterns. Now begins the rebuilding. It's where you start to define your new identity, brick by brick, thought by thought, with patience and clarity. Every morning you wake up with intention. You're training your mind to trust you again. Because for years, you might have broken promises to yourself, promises to change, to improve, to stay consistent. And each broken promise weakened your self-belief. But now each small act of follow-through rebuilds it. The 8th day is about trust. Trusting that small steps matter. Trusting that growth doesn't need to be visible to be real. Trusting that even when you don't see progress, your inner world is shifting quietly beneath the surface. You might still hear old thoughts. I'm not good enough. This won't last. What's the point? But now you recognize them. They no longer sound like truth. They sound like echoes. Echoes from a past self who didn't yet know how powerful you could be. By the 9th day, something magical begins to happen. Your energy starts aligning with your effort. You wake up a little earlier without forcing yourself. You feel the pull toward better choices, not because you have to, but because you want to. This is momentum, the quiet engine of transformation. Momentum is not motivation. Motivation is a spark. It comes and goes. Momentum is the fire that keeps burning, even when it rains. You build it by showing up again and again, until showing up becomes your nature. On day 9, practice silence. Spend some time without music, without scrolling, without noise. Listen to your mind. It's learning to breathe again. You'll notice your thoughts becoming clearer, your self-talk kinder. Your identity is beginning to shift. By the 10th day, you start to embody the new version of yourself. Not fully, but enough to feel the difference. You notice it in how you carry yourself, in the way you sit, the way you respond, the way you look at your reflection. You begin to like your own company again.
You stop needing validation because your peace has become your reward. And when you catch yourself smiling for no reason, your soul is recognizing the change before your mind fully does. This stage of the journey is fragile. Your old self is still close enough to call you back. Your new self is still forming, still delicate. You stand between both, one hand reaching for what's next, the other slowly releasing what once was. It's okay to feel lost here. Growth often looks like confusion before it looks like clarity. But remember this, the confusion you feel now is proof that your old patterns no longer fit. You're outgrowing them. You're expanding beyond what you used to accept. By day 11, your focus sharpens. You begin to realize how much energy you used to waste on people, on opinions, on overthinking. Now that energy is returning to you. You start investing it in your habits, in your goals, in your peace. Your mornings feel cleaner, your thoughts lighter. Your environment begins to reflect your inner world. Maybe you start decluttering your space, organizing, simplifying, because transformation on the inside naturally spills into your surroundings.
And in those small shifts, your habits, your tone, your silence, the old you begins to fade. Not because you're forcing change, but because you're finally aligned with who you were always meant to be. By this point, people might start noticing. They'll say, "You've changed." And you'll smile softly, not with pride, but with peace, because they don't know the storms you've walked through to find this stillness. This part of the journey teaches you something powerful. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about returning to your goals, to your peace, to yourself, even after you slip. You're no longer chasing quick results. You're building something lasting. You're crafting a foundation that won't crumble under stress or doubt. Every time you wake up with purpose, every time you choose growth over comfort, you're shaping your new identity, layer by layer. This is how transformation truly works, not through dramatic leaps, but through quiet, consistent alignment. And by the end of day 11, you'll notice something subtle yet powerful. You're no longer trying to change yourself. You're simply being the version that feels right. You're not forcing discipline. It's becoming natural. You're not faking confidence. It's becoming effortless. Because when you act like the person you wish to become long enough, your mind stops seeing it as an act. It starts seeing it as truth. And in that truth, you are becoming unrecognizable. By the 12th day, something inside you begins to settle. You're no longer chasing the idea of change. You're living it. There's a calm confidence in your steps, a quiet certainty in your choices. The chaos that once controlled you no longer does. You still feel emotions, anger, sadness, doubt, but now you respond to them differently. You no longer drown in them, you observe them. You no longer run from discomfort, you learn to sit with it. This is the essence of emotional mastery. It doesn't mean becoming numb. It means becoming aware. It means learning to let emotions pass through you without letting them define you. On day 12, you'll notice moments where your old reactions try to return. An argument, a setback, a sudden wave of frustration. But this time, you pause. You breathe. You respond with awareness instead of just instinct. And in that pause, you reclaim your power. It's a strange feeling at first. You start realizing how much control you truly have. Not over the world, not over others, but over your response to everything that happens. This is the source of your real power. By the 13th day, something deeper begins to rise. Self-respect. It's not loud or aggressive. It's quiet, steady, unshakable. You start saying no to things that drain you. You stop explaining your need for peace to people who don't understand it. You stop begging to be seen because you finally see yourself. Self-respect becomes the cornerstone of your transformation. It's what keeps you grounded when others try to pull you back to who you used to be. It's what reminds you that not every invitation deserves your presence, and not every opinion deserves your energy. This is the point where you begin to build boundaries. You don't build them as walls, but as gates. Selective, intentional, protective. You start to understand that your energy is currency, and you realize not everyone can afford your time anymore. On day 14, reflection arrives. You look back and realize just how far you've come, not in grand achievements, but in inner peace. You remember how reactive you used to be, how quickly you would lose your grip on your emotions. And now you can stay calm, even when things don't go your way. This isn't weakness, it is a sign of true mastery. You stopped needing to prove your worth to anyone. You no longer chase recognition because your validation has turned inward. You're learning to enjoy silence, to find a deep beauty in slow mornings and quiet evenings, because peace has become your new addiction. The 15th day marks a turning point. Halfway through this journey, you realize something profound. You don't need to fight your emotions to control them. You simply need to understand them. Emotions are messengers. Anger tells you where your boundaries are being crossed. Sadness shows you what parts of you need healing. Fear points to where your growth is waiting. When you start listening to these emotions instead of silencing them, you begin to heal on a level you never could have reached before. You stop labeling emotions as good or bad. You begin to see them all as part of being alive, as energy passing through, not a force that defines you. And this awareness, It changes everything. Now you walk differently. Your eyes carry a certain depth. Your words hold intention. You begin to notice the world noticing you, not because you've changed your looks, but because you have changed your energy. There's something magnetic about a person who has mastered their inner world. They move with a quiet strength. They don't chase attention, they attract it by simply existing. They are rare because most people are controlled by their emotions, not guided by them. By this point, your discipline and awareness have merged into one. You no longer have to rely on motivation. You rely on your standards. You've raised them without even realizing it. You no longer tolerate chaos in your mind or in your circle. And even though this calm version of you might confuse some people, it feels like home to you. Because the truth is, you were never meant to live a life of reaction. You were meant to lead your life with intention. And that is what you were finally doing. Day 15 feels different. The days no longer blur together. They carry purpose, rhythm, and grace. You wake up and no longer need to remind yourself to grow. It has become your nature. The person who once doubted, who hesitated, and overthought everything, now acts, trusts, and moves forward. Your emotions now serve you instead of ruling you. Your peace is your anchor, and your strength is your quiet rebellion against everything that ever tried to break you. The journey is far from over, but the foundation is now strong. You're no longer in the process of becoming unrecognizable. You already are. The world just hasn't caught up yet.
By the 16th day, your reflection feels different. You still look like you, but your eyes carry something new. There's a depth there, a certainty, a sense of peace. It's not that life has suddenly become easier, it's that you have become stronger. The storms that used to shake you to your core, now they feel like wind brushing against a mountain. You've built something inside that can't be taken away. A quiet power born from self-respect and daily consistency. You've reached a point in your journey where transformation becomes creation. This is no longer just about letting go of who you were, it's about designing who you want to be. Your habits have found their rhythm. Your thoughts are clearer. And from this inner stillness, purpose begins to rise. Now, purpose doesn't shout. It doesn't come from searching endlessly outside yourself. It arrives quietly when your inner noise has finally calmed down. It whispers through curiosity, through the things that make you feel truly alive, through those activities where time just seems to disappear. So on day 16, take a moment to listen, not with your ears, but with your full awareness. Ask yourself this one simple question. What would I do every day, even if no one saw it, even if no one clapped? Somewhere inside that question is where your purpose hides. And once you feel even a glimpse of it, your energy changes completely. You stop wasting time trying to prove your worth. You start investing that time into building something meaningful. You come to realize that productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what aligns with who you're becoming. Your purpose isn't something you find once and hold on to forever. It evolves as you do. And right now, your only task is to follow what feels authentic, to walk toward what feels like truth, even if you can't see the full path just yet. By the 17th day, something powerful happens. Clarity.
You begin to see life differently. You see opportunities instead of obstacles. You see growth where others might see loss. You see lessons in the very same moments that used to make you break down. Your mind has shifted from asking, why is this happening to me? To asking, what can I learn from this? And that single change in mindset, it turns pain into wisdom and fear into power. You realize that your greatest challenges were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to build the version of you who could carry your vision. You begin to value solitude over noise, depth over approval, and consistency over chaos. By now, your actions have formed patterns, the kind that strengthen you. You've trained your body to move, your mind to focus, and your emotions to listen to your awareness. And as a result, your life is beginning to mirror your inner world. Day 17 teaches you something profound. You are responsible for the energy you bring into every single moment. You don't control what happens out there, but you control how you show up. And in that choice, there is true power. You stop blaming circumstances because you've understood that your environment can influence you, but it doesn't define you. Your response defines you. Your confidence no longer comes from outside validation. It comes from evidence. Every day you've shown up, every promise you've kept to yourself, every single time you didn't give up, that's your proof. And from that proof, a quiet kind of certainty grows. The kind that doesn't need to announce itself because it's rooted in truth. By the 18th day, your focus expands beyond yourself. When you heal, you start wanting to help others heal too. You begin to see how your transformation ripples through the people around you. Your calm energy soothes chaos. Your discipline inspires effort. Your very presence uplifts. You realize that becoming unrecognizable was never about ego. It was about alignment. It was about stepping into the version of you that could serve, lead, and love with clarity. On this day, something sacred awakens. Vision. Not a vague dream, but a clear direction. You begin to see the future not as a blur of hopes, but as a map you're actively building with your actions. You no longer wait for the right time. You create it. You no longer pray for signs. You become one. Every breath, every step, every choice feels infused with intention. You stop rushing toward the future and you start walking with faith, because you finally understand that the person who has peace already has everything they once chased. By now, the world around you begins to notice your light. People may ask, "What changed?" And you'll smile, because there's no single answer. You simply started showing up. You simply stopped running from yourself. You simply remembered who you are. You've built power not from dominance, but from peace. Not from noise, but from silence. Not from control, but from surrender. The next stage of this journey will demand something deeper from you. It will demand faith. Because the closer you get to the new you, the more your old life will try to test your resolve. But remember this, the tests don't come to break you. They come to reveal how far you've grown. You're not walking in circles anymore. You're walking upward. Each day, a higher version of you emerging. So as you move into the days ahead, don't just look forward. Look within. Everything you've been searching for has been waiting there all along. And soon, the person you used to be will look at you and no longer recognize your reflection.
Day 19 begins in silence. Not the kind of silence that feels empty, but the kind that feels full. The air around you is still, but inside, something vibrant hums quietly. It's peace, the kind that doesn't need permission anymore. You wake up before the alarm, stretch your body, breathe deeply, and notice how your mornings have transformed. They're no longer a rush to survive the day. There is sacred invitation to live it. You move with intention. Every step, every action, every thought feels deliberate. You don't chase discipline now, you are discipline. You don't talk about change, you embody it. The habits that once felt heavy now feel like freedom. The routines that once felt restrictive now give you wings. Because structure, you've learned, is not a cage, it's a runway. Day 19 is when reflection becomes revelation. You realize that the real transformation was never in the results, it was in the resistance. Every time you pushed through doubt, you rewired a piece of your identity. Every small act of effort became a line of code in your new self. You've taught your mind how to serve you, not sabotage you. You've learned that feelings are temporary, but standards are eternal. You no longer ask, "Can I do this?" You ask, "What's next?" Because you know you've done harder things already. By the 20th day, a strange thing happens. You start noticing how other people react to your energy. Conversations feel different. Some people are drawn to your calm confidence. Others seem uncomfortable, as if your growth has become a mirror they're not ready to face. And it's okay. You've learned that not everyone can come with you, not because they're bad, but because your path is yours alone. You no longer shrink yourself to be understood. You no longer dim your light to make others comfortable. You simply walk, steady, kind, and grounded. You stopped needing validation because you've become your own source of it. You've stopped begging the world to see your worth because you've already seen it yourself. Your confidence is quiet now, not born from attention, but from alignment. It's not the fire that burns to be seen, it's the glow that warms everything around it. And through this quiet power, you start to see the world differently. The same sun looks brighter, the same path feels lighter, the same silence feels richer. You realize that you never really needed a new life. You just needed a new lens. And you built it piece by piece, through patience, pain, and purpose. Then comes day 21, the final day, the moment when you stand on the edge of who you were and who you've become. There's no grand celebration, no confetti, no sudden flash of enlightenment, just a mirror and a quiet smile. You look at yourself, really look, and you realize something almost unbelievable. You didn't change into someone new. You returned to who you were always meant to be. The person buried under distraction, doubt, and delay, they're finally here. This is not the end of a challenge, it's the beginning of your new normal. From now on, your choices will come from awareness, not impulse. Your direction will come from purpose, not pressure. Your strength will come from stillness, not struggle. You've become unrecognizable, not because of how you look, but because of how you see. Not because of what you've gained, but because of what you've released. You no longer crave escape because you've built peace inside yourself. You no longer chase happiness because you found meaning. You no longer fear change because you are change. And as the 21st day closes, you stand in quiet gratitude. You thank your old self, the one who started this journey, trembling but brave, the one who dared to believe that small steps could change everything. You thank your body for carrying you through the discomfort. You thank your mind for learning to listen instead of argue. You thank your heart for staying open even when it hurt. Because it was never luck, it was never magic, it was choice, it was consistency, it was love, the kind that begins within. You've become the kind of person who wakes up with purpose and sleeps with peace. The kind of person whose presence feels like light in dark rooms. The kind of person you once needed and now have become. You've learned that the goal isn't perfection, it's presence. It's not about never falling again. It's about never forgetting you can rise. And as you step into the days ahead, you'll notice something beautiful. Your transformation doesn't stop here. It keeps evolving every time you choose courage over comfort, faith over fear, discipline over doubt. So when someone asks, "How did you become this version of yourself?" you'll smile gently and say, "I decided to stop waiting." You'll walk forward, unrecognizable, unshakable, unstoppable. Because now you are not becoming anymore, you are.